Hi guys, welcome back to another Minecraft video. So, school has just ended for me today. Well, it might be tomorrow if I don't finish the video today. But anyways, I thought this was the perfect time to tell you guys about how school absolutely sucked now that it's over. So, a few weeks ago, there was this thing called the Washington, D.C. trip, where basically you will give $500 to the school and it sends you to Washington, D.C., and it's basically a vacation. Now, if you don't go on the Washington, D.C. trip, there's the STARS program. So basically, the school is giving you a mandatory vacation, which I don't know how that works, but sure. Now, I was like, school giving us a break? That doesn't sound like school at all. So I looked deeper into it and then I realized, oh god, this is like a giant scheme to make us do more work. Because before Washington, D.C., there were like 15 different projects in every single class that I took, and they were all like really long, really difficult projects. And then Washington, D.C. trip, it just cut straight into that. So when we get back, we have to do even more work. And we can't like work it on a trip. Like, that's not how a trip works. You don't do homework while on vacation. That's not how vacations work. So they basically have a free excuse to make us do more work after it. So let me just tell you about some of like the projects I did. There was like an ELA project before. That wasn't like too difficult. We researched an author. I got William Wordsworth. And so I had to research him about his life and stuff. So anyway, we had to make like a PowerPoint about William Wordsworth, and I made like a pretty good PowerPoint. I wrote a poem because that was also part of the project. Got to write a poem and make a PowerPoint. And I wrote like a pretty good poem. My ELA teacher really liked the Buffalo Bills. So I wrote a poem about the Buffalo Bills, and she gave me +5 extra credit. And I am all in for that extra credit, so I read it out loud, which was actually not as bad as I expected. So anyways, there was also this other project in social studies class, and it was like research a decade in the 1900s, 2000s type thing. And so I chose the 1960s because I flipped through the packet that they gave us, and I was like, hey, the 1960s, it has like a bunch of stuff that I can put into my project. And also part of the project was you can make like a whole bunch of stuff like newsletters or like time capsules or other type of stuff to put the information on. And I chose a comic because I was like, wait a minute. So I've recently been going into like art and practicing art and stuff and comic books. You need art for that, so. And I get credit and grades from that. So if I do this project, I can do both at the same time and be more productive with my time. So in class, in social studies, it started off like kind of easy. We just had to like Google stuff and then write it down on paper and then Google stuff and then write it down on paper and rinse and repeat. And then we did that for like 3, 4 classes. And then I started trying to create the comics. And I don't know about you, but comics are like extremely difficult to make. Like I was sweating while drawing those. And I like spent 10 hours on one day, like constantly revising the comic and stuff. And I made 2 panels. And at this point, I'm like freaking out. 2 panels in 10 hours? The project's due in like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna finish on time. And there's the Washington, D.C. trip. So I have even less time than I had without it. So I was just like going overtime. I just wasn't sleeping at all. Didn't get any sleep. Barely woke up the next day to function at school. And at the afternoon, I was just only doing comics, not doing anything else. It was so mind-numbingly boring. I think I have like mental damage from that. Probably not though. And then like right before the Washington DC trip, I had like half of it done. So we go on the Washington DC trip, and I mean, it was like fun, I guess. And then we get home, and then I realize, wait a minute, I still have to do my social studies project. So I just rush to my computer, get out my graphics tablet, because before Washington DC, I bought a graphics tablet because I thought it'd be easier to do digital art than normal art. And I just hop on, grab my stylus, and just start drawing for like 12 hours straight. And at like midnight, my mom, because she's concerned about my health, she says like, you know, you have to go to sleep so you can actually function in the morning. Because, you know, functioning, it's kind of important to your body. Sleep is kind of important. And if you don't get sleep, you'll like die or something. So I had to go brush my teeth and go to bed because, you know, I do not want to die. That's considered like not good if I do that. So yeah, so the next day and the next day after that, I just like don't sleep. I work until 12 o'clock at night. Sometimes even like, I think one time I went to like 4 o'clock a.m. and then I went to sleep, which was a lot of work. And then I get it done like barely on time. And then I'm like proud of myself. Like, I spent so much time on this. I just want it done already. So I staple it together because I printed it out and like added a few words and stuff. And then I go to school and show it to my teacher, and I'm like expecting him to like at least say like it's okay or something and to give me like a decent grade. And then he like takes one look at it and he's like, this is the worst project I have seen in all of my years of teaching. You should be disgraced at what you created. This is a monstrosity. I hate it. And I'm just like having a mental breakdown inside because I spent like 6 weeks straight without sleep, which probably isn't healthy. And this is what I got, and I was like having a mental breakdown. I went to the stairs, like the top of the stairs, and I like seriously considered jumping off and like hurting myself or something, but I didn't because I'm a rational person. So I went back, but I couldn't see my teacher. I couldn't stand it. So I went back and forth from the stairs, and I basically like did that for the entire class. I couldn't look at my teacher because every time I looked at him, I'd have a mental breakdown and go back to the stairs, which probably isn't healthy now that I think of it. But I mean, that's fine. My other classes were, like, okay in comparison. No, like, life-threatening disasters happened. So, I guess it's fine. And after I was done with that project, there were, like, some other things that we had to do after it. There were, like, 15 tests. I probably should stop using the word 15 because I'm over-exaggerating everything, but I over-exaggerate things, and it's kind of, like, obvious, and that's kind of a joke. Anyways, so there were, like, a lot of tests that were really important that I really had to study for. So 2 days before the science regents, because that's what the test was called, I did one practice test. I got a 95. I did another practice test, and I got a 96. Then on the day of the test, I was, like, sweating because I was completely off pace, and I thought I was getting, like, every question wrong. I was, like, sweating. Also, it was, like, a really hot day that day, and I can't go to, like, the bathroom to wash my face or something. There's a test going on. I don't want to waste time on doing necessary human functions. No. By the way, before that, there was this math test, but I'm like decent at math, so it was kind of like chill, to be honest. Wasn't really that bad. So I got the test scores back from my science thing, and I did pretty well, actually. So I was completely overreacting, which I kind of do a lot. I don't know. And I guess that leads me to today. There's like a few details that I missed that I might focus on in other videos. Commentaries. Anyways, I hope you like this commentary. Maybe consider subscribing or doing a like on this video because it helps it get recommended to other people, believe it or not. And I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I will keep talking and making sure to take long pauses from all of my sentences because I hate future me. Like, that guy sucks, so I'm going to make him do more editing work and stuff. Anyways, bye.